All right, now, fellas. Hey, let's focus up, huh? So I've been hearing this phrase y'all got over here that I ain't too crazy about. It's the hope that kills you. Y'all know that? I disagree, you know? I think it's the lack of hope that comes and gets you. See, I believe in hope. I believe in belief. Now, where I'm from, we got a saying too. Yeah? It's a question, actually. Do you believe in miracles? Now, I don't need y'all to answer that question for me. But I do want you to answer that question for yourselves. Right now. Do you believe in miracles? And if you do, then I want y'all to circle up with me right now. Come on, let's go. Get them in here. All right, Captain, let them know.
Let's go, Skipper, let's go.
All right, Captain, let them know.
Richmond on 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Good. The beginning of the season is the most beautiful of times for a sports fan. A time of dreams, a time of promise, a time of hope. It's a chance to reset from everything that was, from the year before, all the highs and all the lows. Hold the F on, dude. That's the same shit I was saying last year. It's happening again. Hope meter on gosh darn a million. Ain't it audacious? With the new season looming just over the horizon and a return to Earth after our previous first drive heaven, we're back at the starting line. So, what are we hopeful for this coming 2025 season?
Oh my God. Yeah, that sounded so familiar. We read this. We were so excited. God, I don't remember that episode. Well, parts of it. I didn't re-listen to it like you did, so I'm very anxious to hear your thoughts. But we're like, oh, Caleb's walking into the best situation any quarterback ever has. I think, like we were saying, the preseason's been great. Or like ones have dominated their ones, or twos have dominated their twos. Like, it's going to be awesome. And then it wasn't. And then it was. And then it really, really wasn't. And like, I don't know, man. It's like Ted Lasso said. You know, he said it's not the hope that kills you, but it is the hope that kills you. And like, what are we defining as success? And that's kind of what we asked the people about to chime in for next week. But how do you even measure what expectations should be for this team?
Yeah.
If you look at it, okay, is the talent there? Yeah, you want to say, yeah, the talent's there. Last year going into it, I think, and I'd been very vocal about this part, at least, on Eberflus not being the guy, and I was worried about that. And I thought, okay, maybe everything else can kind of overcome that. Maybe Shane Waldron can work some magic, and we got a quarterback that's like the guy, right? Maybe we can overcome all of that. And that ended up not working out. And now it's like, okay, we got the talent on paper, we think. The quarterback, we still feel pretty good about. He had some ups and downs last year, but honestly, for a rookie quarterback and everything that he had to go through with that, I think he had a pretty good season for a rookie. And now we've the coaching staff, right? We've upped the coaching staff, and we feel very good about this guy. We feel better about this guy than we do about the quarterback that we had the first pick of.
Yeah.
And so you want to feel good about it, but at the same time, I think every Bears fan's a little guarded, of like, I just don't want this to blow. As if this doesn't work, what do we do?
Okay, so I was re-listening to that episode, and so one, we sounded so young, and we sounded full of hope. It was ridiculous. I could like literally
Gross.
hear ourselves smiling. The first thing you said was when we drafted Caleb, you said you were in a bar in Nashville when you got drafted?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay.
I was in Louisville.
Same. You were in Louisville. You said you screamed, "We didn't fuck this up," and high-fived everyone in the bar.
Yes.
And then we talked about how at the time we thought the Bears had only 2 or 3 holes in their team. Not true. The whole team was basically a giant fucking hole. Something that I didn't remember is that going into last season, Eberflus had the highest odds for Coach of the Year.
Oh boy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a weird one because I think at some point in the season he also had the highest odds of being fired first.
What a
Yeah. I mean, the Coach of the Year in the NFL is almost a little bit of a curse. And like same thing with the NBA, right? You know, sometimes you win Coach of the Year, then you're fired like the next year. It's a weird award, but yeah. Oh man. I mean, look, I still don't think they fucked it up with that pick. I mean, Jaden Daniels had a great rookie year. Would he have had the same rookie year with Eberflus and Shane Waldron? I don't know. With the Bears' protection, I don't know. It's not like Washington had better skill players than the Bears. I'd argue they're similar. Maybe even the Bears were stronger in some areas, but Jaden made it work, and hats off to him, and looks like he's going to be a great pro. Do I think Caleb has a chance to be a better pro? I do. Do I also think he has a chance to be way worse? Sure. I mean, I don't know, right? But at the same time, I don't think that they messed it up. I think that they picked the right quarterback, and I'm excited to see where he goes.
Yeah, it's just as you said, what happens if this doesn't work out?
It scares me.
It scares me too. I've had thoughts of that while driving to work while the sun is rising and it's really pretty and it's this seems really nice.
Go.
But
let's go to a dark place though in my mind.
My mind wants to reject the beautiful sun. But it's just interesting to listen to that and see how everything transpired. I guess how honestly, when you're hopeful about something and when things seem positive, how duped you can be, or maybe you look past the flaws. I mean, I think going in, there was this concern of Eberflus, but to think that there was only a couple holes and then to see it, man, it's just a big difference between what you think is going to happen and what actually does.
Yeah. So,
happen.
They got some injuries, but the offensive line was not good, right? It wasn't what it needed to be. I don't think the skill players were necessarily flawed. I think DJ was good. Rome, I don't know if they really got him going. They didn't use Cole Kmet properly at all. So, and then defense was really good for the first couple of weeks, right? And they got hit by some injuries, and once Billings went down, they couldn't stop the run at all.
Yeah.
They lost Brisker pretty early, and Kyler Gordon missed some time. So there's some of that, but every team has injuries. It's weird. You can always talk yourself into your team being pretty good. We might surprise some people because you're a lot closer to it. It's like your kids, right? You're other people probably think they're assholes, but you're oh, it's just cute. And you're no, that's annoying. It's not cute.
Me with everybody's child.
There you go.
Okay,
see?
I get it, but not really.
Get those rose-colored glasses on where you think it's adorable and nobody else does.
Well, the thing that I think has really stuck out is as we kind of now get to retroactively look at the old regime and have been staring at this new regime, is this sort of feeling of structure and scheme and competence.
Yes.
And I think we felt that going in last year. And I would say that for myself, that was just this is the deepest I've dove into a team really ever. And so from the surface, I was they seem good. Watching Hard Knocks, they looked good. It seemed like he talked to the team in the right way, but there seemed to be a glaring lack of structure and scheme and organization.
Identity even. How would you describe, watching Hard Knocks, what would you have used? Would you even have adjectives to describe Flus as a coach?
Friendly.
Not ideal.
Personable.
But Ben Johnson, Does he have an identity as a coach? Yeah, he's intense.
Yeah.
He's detail oriented.
I truly feel like they kept Caleb and that first team in through the whole first half because they looked so shitty. It felt like a dad being like, no, dude, you were staying out there. Do it again. And like, there was like watching it live when they got that touchdown, and it was against the second string, whatever, but it was just like, oh, thank God, dude. Like, at least, because there was no reason that they would have had to bring him back out if they would have looked competent
Probably.
at all. But he's like, nah, motherfucker, we are doing this over and over.
The next time you go out there is going to be for real. So I need you to get it right this time, which is fine. Right?
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm glad that happened. Right. And I'm a little worried. I don't know how long that sort of intensity can burn, you know, and how much you can scream at somebody or I don't know, maybe like wear them out before they totally just like tune you out.
Yeah.
You know, can Ben Johnson's style go for years and years and years, or is he going to burn people out? Like Tom Coughlin did that, right? He came to the Giants. They were a little loosey-goosey. He like buttoned them up, you know, maximize their talent, just fucking cussed them out every day. And they won 2 Super Bowls, but like his voice was just, it wore on people after a while. They had to go in a different direction. He was just too intense and guys would just, you know, tune him out. I'm not saying we're there yet. I'm just a little worried if he's like constantly like, and he does praise people, right? He praised that second team, but I don't know. Maybe let's see what Caleb's made of. Let's see what the offense is made of, right? Can they operate in that sort of way?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, you know, you can work at it 2 different ways. Like Andy Reid's not like that, right? But Bill Belichick was. He's kind of a gruff guy, right? Yeah. He's kind of no nonsense, detail oriented.
He seemed mean, dude.
Mean too,
like,
right?
Just
like
mean as fuck.
Like he'll lay into you, and some people didn't like that culture in New England, but it was successful, right? But they also had Tom Brady, you know. Yeah. And so if Caleb can learn to be that Tom Brady, you know, and kind of adapt to that sort of coaching and like mentality, then I think that they can do good things. We just have to see it. And I do think it's going to take a little bit of time. I don't think it's going to click right away just because Caleb is a different type of cat, you know, in terms of how he plays ball and how Ben likes to play ball. And so it might take a couple weeks. And last year, what did I say? 3.5 weeks or something like that.
4, something around there.
Probably going to take close to that, maybe 4 or 5 weeks.
Well, Ben Johnson in the press conference said that it would take up until the bye week to identify who we are and what we're going to be for the rest of the season. So he's giving them 4 games
4 weeks, yep.
To like not really fuck around. It's like, you got 4 weeks to like, we're just trying to figure it out. It seems like after that, then it's like, now are we in crisis or are we in like a good, there's this like even Declan Doyle's press conference today, he goes, there are certain things that we just don't accept. Like, the ball should never touch the ground. Like, you shouldn't have like pre-snap penalties. He goes, anytime that happens, that's inexcusable. And so they seem to have these standards, which are like basic football standards, but they're like, we are like, I don't think that it doesn't seem like anyone's speaking negatively or like seem discouraged, but they're just like, it's almost like adults talking about children. Like, I know they have it. They just aren't fucking like there yet, but we can get them there. Like, that's at least what it feels like now. How does that continue for?
So that's one of the great things about Tom Brady, right? And Belichick talked about this in an interview one time. I forgot where it was, but he's like, the best thing about Tom Brady is he never went backwards. He never got us into a situation where we're 2nd and 15, 3rd and 12. It was always move forward. We always 2nd and 4, 3rd and 5, manageable things. And because he knew how to line people up, we didn't have pre-snap penalties. We didn't fumble snaps. Like, just doing those basic things that you control. The defense has nothing to do with that, right? Like, it's just you knowing what you're supposed to do and coaching. And if you just stop beating yourself up before the ball's even snapped, you're in a much better spot than we were last year.
I had this terrible moment as you were talking of like, at some point in the season, if Caleb doesn't get it, like he's like, you know what, man, fuck it. Bajan's going in for like a couple like drives just to be like, do you see what the fuck I'm talking about? Like, just to prove a point.
Yeah.
And not that the starter role is ever in question, but more like you need to go sit down for 3 drives and fucking just like figure out what's going on, and then you'll be back in like never an actual controversy. But like if they aren't,
I don't think he would ever do that. I don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
In a blowout loss or something.
Yeah.
Sure, right. But that stuff, you can't embarrass him publicly like that.
Sure.
That's hard to do. But that would have to come in the film room and like, you know, being like, you can't do that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so far I really do feel like there hasn't been there doesn't seem to be that air of shaming their players publicly.
And you know, Caleb's pretty candid at the podium as well, where he's like, yeah, I could have done that, and this could have been better, and, you know, things like that. So we'll see. They've got 2 weeks now of all the national media talking about how Caleb's, like, going to be a bust because, I don't know, he still had no interceptions during the preseason and what took like 1 sack, and everybody's like, oh my God, his bad habits are forming again. And so we got to deal with that shit for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Until the Vikings game. And then we'll see what happens when the lights are on.
Yeah, it really does feel like, I just would like, I mean, I'm sure they would like Go Time to Be Here more than we want Go Time to Be Here, but it's very like, I just want to see what's up.
Yeah. I'm excited. They got a hard schedule, but I think our coaching staff is way more up to the task to like, you know, iron sharpens iron kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is me being Audacity of Hope again, but I don't see like a failed Hail Mary or something like that derailing the team with Johnson and Al Harris and Dennis Allen, and Antoine Randall L, like it did with Eberflus and Waldron. Well, Waldron, yeah, was he still there? I think he was still there. And like those guys that just had like no prominent voice in that room.
Yeah.
So the coaching staff was the biggest upgrade, and I'm excited to see them, you know, turn these guys around.
That is also my reason for why I'm hopeful, is just the structure, the support, the like guidance. It seems like every coach, and again, we kind of felt sort of like that last year a little bit, but like
now with the coaches.
That's true.
Now with the coaches.
Yeah, there are questions, but like the guidance feels more sound with this.
That's a good way to put it.
Collection of individuals, like we're going to prepare you as best as we can, but it's ultimately on you to perform, and we're not going to let you slip. And hopefully that, like, you know, is that some people may not like that style of teaching, but it's like we are going to point out the flaws so that we can help you be better and support you and show you the way.
That's what coaching is, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm excited about it. I'm interested to see what that roster looks like tomorrow. I think it's pretty well set. There's a couple of guys that I'm interested to see if they make the team or not. Mainly along the offensive line. I'm kind of curious to see if Kieran Amagaji makes the team or where they're going to stash him. You guys did listen to the Bears on Tap. We went over that. Me and Q went over the full 53, trying to predict who would make it and who wouldn't. So check that out if you haven't at On Tap Sportsnet. But we really kind of differed a little bit on the offensive line. I'm excited to see, like, not excited because this is like not a good day for a lot of people, right? So
yeah,
it's a tough day. But I'm interested, I guess, to see where they land with those. And you know, something strange happened today where they waived Ian Wheeler and Royce Freeman, and those are 2 running backs. And you know, Wheeler I think will come back on the practice squad. I don't think Freeman's gonna come back, but those are 2 healthy running backs, and they don't have a lot of those right now. They have Swift. They had Freeman, they have Britton Brown, and Ian Wheeler. They had 4 healthy running backs. They waived 2 of them. So either that means Roshan and Kyle Manange are not, you know, they're good to go for the season.
Yeah.
Or they are looking at other running backs that are being waived or free agents, and they're going to bring somebody on board. So I would look for a running back announcement of some kind.
Exciting stuff. Okay, so any final thoughts from the game / what should we be looking forward to kind of like coming up in the next couple weeks? I know you talked about the running backs and just sort of like, game preview
and
stuff.
Edge, you know, I don't think the defense played particularly well against Mahomes and company either. You know, they need to generate a rush. Dio and Sweat had a 0% pass rush win rate from what I saw looking on the interweb. So that's not ideal. They need some more help, especially with Booker and Damra both being hurt. I don't know if Damra played against the Chiefs or not, but Booker didn't. And Booker might miss a couple weeks. And he was really coming on. So if you need a third pass rusher, there's still Zadarius Smith out there in free agency, and some other names that you can go get to just be like specialists, right, to come in. So take a look at that as well.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so we have next week's episode is a Pulse of the People. So if you haven't yet, hit us with your submissions. And the 3 questions there'll be a picture of that in the video for this thing. But the 3 questions we're asking is, what's your definition of success for the Bears this season? What would have to happen for you to hit the panic button this season? And give us one bold prediction for this upcoming season. 30-second responses for each max. Text us if you have our numbers. You can email it to mrratorsneighborhood@gmail.com by this Friday. There'll be a little screen grab of it in this, if you're watching the video of this, and it'll also be in the link in the description. And then that'll be next week's episode. We'll be hearing where the people are at. I mean, I guess to sort of close this, it does feel like we are in a better place than we were last year, a significantly better place. How things pan out will be interesting to see. But I feel, listening back and now this where I'm at, I feel like, excited, a lot of unknown really with everything, but like, it feels a little bit like there's some adults in the room.
Right. It feels less House of Cards-y, right? With Flus and a rookie quarterback, you're like, oh, this thing could go sideways fast. It looks like it could be okay, but it could go sideways fast, right? This, I feel like, even if it doesn't come out the way you want it, I feel like it'll at least be steadier.
The ceilings and the floors are like a little closer together.
Maybe,
I think
yeah.
maybe they're a little less for like variance, hopefully. Maybe the ceiling's higher, I guess, but they're just not as much, bipolarness of it all.
I hope so. I don't want to see another 10-game losing streak. That was depressing as hell, man.
Where can people find you? All that good stuff.
Yeah, on tapsportsnet.com. You can see me there. I will be doing weekly post-game takeaways there. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in a previous podcast, so look out for those every Monday if they play on Sunday, and then Tuesday if they play on Monday. So you can find my post-game takeaways there. And and I'll post all those articles on my X at smpatel06 as well.
Hell yeah. For Samir Patel, I'm Chirag Rathod. We are the Bears in the Neighborhood, your weekly insight into the Chicago Bears in under 30 minutes, and we will catch you all next week.
What if they go undefeated?